Hello, everyone, and happy Monday morning out there. Today, we are going to talk all about visibility. So, I'm just jumping on here for about 5 or 10 minutes or so we can talk about how expanding your reach is one of the most important ways that you're able to get visibility for yourself. Sometimes it's not always about serving the other person. And today, I have somebody with me, and we're going to go live, and her name is Dawn Bates. And she is going to be talking all about how she used to just serve others all the time. And now she has decided that it's important for herself to really focus on her and what that has done for her in the past. So, Dawn, welcome to the show today. I'm glad you're joining me.
Thank you for having me. It's so good to be with you again.
Yeah, so I know that you wanted to talk about how over the past year, you've really kind of focused within on what's
Mm,
going on in your life and how that's really changed your visibility of you seeing you. And as women, I really do believe that so many times we are out there serving others, doing so much for others, even to the point where afraid to raise prices or charge somebody because we want to be nice and we want to be of
mhm.
service. How has your life shifted? Let's talk a little bit about, tell the audience who you are and how has that shifted for you?
God, how long do we have, Colleen? I mean,
Ah,
there's books,
we
there's
only have
17
15
books
minutes, girls.
written. Gosh, I think as somebody, as we were talking before we actually joined this call, that somebody who has been relentlessly giving to others in the act of service, I was actually doing myself and others a big disservice, because when we don't honor ourselves, I mean, we've all heard, love yourself first, love others from the overflow. And you mentioned there being nice by keeping our prices low, but that's not being nice to someone. That's actually keeping them small, because we all know that when that boiler goes, we're going to do whatever it takes to get that boiler fixed. Well, those of us who live in colder climates, let's say a car. I think pretty much everyone but me has got a car these days. But when that car goes and there's something that your children need, you will do whatever it takes to make sure that your kids have got the clothing, they've got the transport, they've got the heating. And it's the same with our business. If we keep our prices small and we keep giving, we're not allowing other people to rise up within themselves and actually find the solutions to what it is that they're wanting. Even to the point where now I refuse to give away free content on a coaching call. Like, I do a weekly author coaching call now, and I refuse to pay. I refuse to do them for free, because what I was finding when I was delivering them for free, people, it was only what I call the grossly obese inspiration hunters turning up on the call, getting stuff for free. And that's the pattern in their life. They're always looking for the freebie, they're always looking for the cheaper option. But we deserve more than that,
Yeah.
Colleen.
Yeah.
Women have died for us to actually have what we have today.
Right.
Women in America, like what's her name? Miss CJ, back in like late 1800s. She was the first billionaire. Like, Oprah's got nothing on CJ,
Right.
but everybody is going on about Oprah. Imagine if Oprah kept her price this small. She wouldn't have been able to do half the philanthropy
No.
that she'd have been able to
Yeah.
do.
That's right. What if she decided not to go big and really put herself out there on national
Exactly.
television, right?
Mm,
So when we think about that, I was just at a business intensive training with my clients over the past few days, and we talked all about pricing and we talked about concerns that people may have when they say, I can't afford it. And we know when someone says, I can't afford it, it's never, the answer is not true that they can't afford it. Like you said, if your car broke down, whatever, if your hot water heater went, if your AC went on your house and you live in Arizona like I do, you find the money. So it pains me that women don't see the value of themselves
mm,
and the investment that we make in ourselves and our businesses, because that's how we make the greatest impact. And if we believe that the product we have to offer, the service we have to offer someone is going to change their life, then we need to get ourselves out there and expand ourselves.
mm.
And and allow other people to invest in themselves to get that value from that product or program that you're offering. And Dawn, I know
Absolutely.
you've shifted a lot. You've written a lot of books, you work with a lot of authors. Tell us what you're up to today.
Oh, I'm I'm actually processing being back in England after a very
I was
long
just going
time
to
of
say,
not being in.
what country are
Yeah,
you in right now? Because every time I talk to you, you're in a different country.
I am not. Yeah, I've just come back from Latin America after being out there for 3 years. And before that, I was in Europe, and before that, Australasia, like sailing around the world. And I've come back to England because there was something about my mama's intuition that told me my boys need me, my fur baby girl needs me. And they've been living with their dad, and but there was just something that my intuition said. And I think this is the other thing: when we honor who we are and we gift to ourselves, and we gift ourselves the time and the right food and the right exercise, and we surround ourselves with the right people that elevate us and lift us up, then we start to get what I call love nudges, and it guides us in. Also, if we're eating junk food and like dishonoring our bodies, we're actually stopping ourselves from receiving the guidance we need. So I've come back to England, and I stayed with my boys for a few weeks, and then I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. I've got to keep moving. So I'm in a complete stranger's house at the moment. And I'm dog sitting because I still need to honor my nomadic lifestyle. So I'm getting reacquainted with England on a whole new level. I'm traveling to places around England that I've never been to, looking after horses and dogs. And going back to what we were saying, a friend of mine on LinkedIn said last week, my prices reflect my talent, not your budget. And if my prices are too high for you because I'm honoring myself, then that is something for you to either aspire to or to walk away from. It's like menus are in restaurants. Here in my home, you won't eat what I cook. That's just how it is. And I think that's the thing. When we honor ourselves, we get to honor others. And we stop stealing other people's time and education. Because just to share with you a very quick story, one of my eldest son's teacher called me into the school. Apples do not fall far from this tree. I will just give you that heads up now. And my eldest son had refused to work with some of the kids in his class. And these dogs are English, but they understand Arabic. Fantastic. She called me into the office and she said, your son is refusing to work with these people. I said, and? Like, what's the problem? And she goes, well, he can't do that. I said, well, why can he not? Environment is everything. If he doesn't want to work with them, find out why. And she goes, well, I need to see you both. So she called us into the school, and I sat there in front of her and I was like, dude, why is it you don't want to work with these people? He goes, I'm here to learn. I'm not here to mess about. They're stealing my education by them messing about. He goes, so she wants me to work with them. She's got to sort out their attitude towards learning, because I'm not going to work with them otherwise. Oh, I was so proud of him in that moment, Colleen.
That's so great.
That
is so great. What a proud moment as a mom to see your child stand up for themselves and what they want, and not conform to what everyone says is the normal of what they should do. And even if these other children aren't going to be stepping up like you are, that before you know it, it's like we're just forcing our children to do things they don't want to do. The honor who you are. You said that earlier. Honor who you are. And I love that you talked about our network is our net worth and who we surround ourselves with, listening to our intuition. These are all the things that many women forget to tap into, and men, on a regular basis, and realize that it is not selfish to honor who you are. It is not selfish to have a price point on your packages and your products and services. It's not selfish to want to impact and change the world. That's about everybody else, but you win in the process.
Well, see, that's the thing. And it's like with me writing a book. I mean, I had someone send me an email. Oh, can you read my manuscript? I was like, well, this is the fee for me to read your manuscript. why are you charging? The big publishing houses don't charge. I'm like, well, they kind of have to pay someone to read that. And they're making their money off all the merchandise and all the royalties of all the books. And what people tend to think is that just because they think they've got an amazing story, they obviously don't think it's that amazing and that valuable if they're not prepared to invest in their own publishing.
Right.
You know, working with an author coach, and I really like to make this distinction for people. I'm an author coach. Yes, I've taught English, so I understand how to write. Yes, I understand publishing. I mean, I'm 17 books in, so you'd kind of hope, like, you know, I kind of learn a thing or two along the way. But I've been in publishing for 23 years. I've been in the media for 23 years around the world. You know, I've been in recognizing parts of the world, and I'm like, how do these people know who I am? Like, I've not even been here 10 minutes, and people are knowing what my name is. Hey, mermaid. Hey, you're the mermaid girl, aren't you? Auckland. I'm like, I've not even been in Auckland a week yet. How do these people know who I am? And this is the thing, you can be a good writer, you can get your book published, and you can have all the funnels, but if you're not prepared for the author life, and you're not prepared to step up for yourself, your audience, your readers, and for your passion project and your legacy, then, you know, it's, excuse me, I'm just,
That's okay. Just
can you hear them?
Yeah, you can put your.
They've been asleep all morning and all day. Now they want to join in the conversation.
Of course they are. Let them join in on the conversation. I'm so glad you said that, because honoring our legacy, is that not one of the most important things for us, to honor our legacy and who we are by doing the things that light us up and the impacts we make on others? But if we don't honor ourselves first, one of the biggest conversations I had over the last 3 days while we were all held up in a hotel and we were training and having all this wonderful fun was honoring who we are and ourselves first. And this was so timely to have this conversation today with you, Dawn, because so many women forget to honor themselves first, to the point that many of my clients didn't even fly out and join us because they had every other excuse of why their family needed them or somebody else needed them. And this is part of their program, and they passed up the opportunity.
They need them.
That's right. They need themselves to show up for themselves. And it was the right people were there that needed to be there, but we just kept mentioning how sad it was that certain people weren't there because we knew how much they needed it to invest in themselves, to invest in their businesses. And then people wonder why they're struggling. Why am I always tired? Why am I overworked? Why do I feel like everyone comes before me? It's like, because you're putting everybody before you. Why not put yourself
Exactly.
first?
If you're telling the universe that everything is more important than you are, by your actions and your choices, you're not going to get the things that you want. I mean, I always tell people, go shopping with the universe. You know, you tell the universe exactly what it is that you want by not just your journaling or the things that you espouse and all the affirmations, by your actions.
Sure.
You know, whoever it is on Facebook, thank you very much.
Yes, they love you. I just wanted to share that with you because they love you. And, you know, who we surround ourselves with to fuel ourselves. You know, Dawn, you and I have been friends for a long time. We met one time and then we've just stayed connected. And just no matter what country you're in, we'll just have a conversation on the phone to see what's up with each other. And, you know, I feel like the networks that we put around us and the people we stay connected with become our net worth. They become the value of us, because our character and our integrity and who we decide we want to be around says a lot about who we are as a person. Yeah.
And I spend a lot of time by myself. I mean, they do say that you are like the 5 people you spend the most time with. And I'm like, well, how many multiple personalities do I have here? Dogs are really loyal and healing. Horses are really loyal and healing. The ocean is so powerful. And being out in nature, you know, that is the vibration that you really want to tap into. And most of the people in my field, in my circle, you know, multiple 7 and 8 figures. And, you know, and it's because I know that I don't want to be around people who are just talking small, living small, and being small. And that's not disrespectful to anybody else. That's just me honoring who I am. And
Yeah.
some of the reasons why people do not, and I always say this because, as you know, the books that I write, they are exposés. They are about human rights and social justice, cultural diversity. And one of the things a lot of people think is that human rights means that you've got to be unwashed, smelly, and tied to a tree and getting angry, waving placards in the street. Not at all. It could be, I mean, like Annie, when the lady that I wrote a book about, I wrote her biography, Annie Gibbons, Becoming Annie, the biography of a curious woman. And I was talking to her this back and forth with the messages this morning. This is a woman who, I went through such turmoil as a child. I mean, if you haven't read her book, it's available on my website at dawnbates.com/Annie Gibbons. She, crazy lady in the best possible way. Not only did she have 2 sets of twins 2 years apart, then another one.
I love Annie.
We love Annie. We can't not love Annie. And like the first time we chatted, she nearly crashed a car because we were giggling. It kind of carries on that way.
Yeah.
And but not only did she have that, she was also moving house, building another house, and then she's, like doing 3 degrees, and she's built this incredible C-suite career. She was the CEO of Glaucoma Australia. She's done so much fundraising. That is female activism in its purest sense.
Yeah.
Because she was like, I am going to own these ovaries. I've been given them for a reason. And I always say to my clients, you have been given the gift and the possibility of creating and growing life within you.
Yeah.
And it takes you 9 months to grow a baby, unless you got my youngest son and he popped out 6 weeks early. And again, I will be saying, be careful what you wish for, because I kept saying, please God, do not give me a child do not give me a baby heavier than my first one. My first one came out on the day, so not Arab at all. I'm telling you, he was on time. He was so English. But my ex-husband is Arab, so I'm allowed to say that.
Yeah.
He came out bang on the day, and his younger brother had to come 6 weeks early and still weighed more than him. I got what I wished for in a whole different way, and I was really ill. But the thing is that when we have this capacity to grow life within us, that shows us how powerful we are. Yeah. And then we get to keep these children alive on our breast milk alone. How powerful are we?
Very.
And it's like, if you can do that, you can do anything. You just have to believe it's possible. And we don't sit there going, are the nerves connecting? Are the blood vessels connecting to one another? Are the kidneys working? We have no idea what's going on in there unless we've got a biology degree and there's just something.
We wake up every day and just start breathing. And we're
exactly. We just take it for granted. Yeah. So if we took our success for granted and we expected the highest levels of success, we're going to receive that.
That's right.
We don't question it.
Yeah.
And this is the thing. It's like when my clients come to me, it's like, are you ready for my fire to go on your spine? Because my publishing logo is my fire. That's my mama fire, my Sagittarian fire, my feminine fire. And I can't think of what the other fire is, but anyway, it's there. Oh, Scottish fire, hence the Fuego hair.
Yes.
But again, it's like, if you are not willing to invest in yourself, it's almost as if, like, a lot of the people that have, one of the biggest things that I get told is, oh, I'm going to wait for one of the big 4 to publish me. And for me as an entrepreneur, that doesn't sit right with me. It's like, okay, so are you going to wait for the government to pay for your house and your bills and your food and your clothing? You're waiting for other people to pay you and invest in you. Right. Why are you not doing it for yourself?
That's right. Yeah.
Why are you waiting?
Message that you're sending today, Dawn. And I so appreciate you being here and sharing the message with everyone about ourselves and putting ourselves first. And you've given so many examples of that. And for all of you that are wondering, well, how do I get in contact with Dawn? Other than dawnbates.com, is there somewhere where you want them to connect with you, Dawn, so they can reach out to you?
Well, they can connect with me on LinkedIn because I'm not on Zuckerberg's platforms.
Okay.
I boycott them. human rights in action, you know. Too much darkness on those platforms underlying in the background. But yeah, LinkedIn. I'm also on Twitter. Now that Elon Musk has come back, and now that Elon Musk has taken over Twitter, I've gone back there, and it's a whole different energy, a whole different space.
Yeah, great.
Well, we're so what we like, and I don't go in Facebook jail anymore.
Right, we all do, right? Well, I'm telling you what, Dawn, you are the epitome of a strong female who honors herself first. You've really learned that lesson over the years of your life, listening to your intuition. Yeah. Realizing how powerful you really are. And women, if anyone listening right now just takes that confirmation for yourself today with you in you are valuable, your products are valuable, your services are valuable. Again, I believe you said keeping your prices low is just keeps everyone small. Your prices should reflect your value, not their budget.
Yeah, right? It's your talent and your expertise, and how much have you invested in yourself over the years?
Right.
How much have you learned? I mean, I don't know about you, but I've got 25 years of entrepreneurship and publishing experience, and I've invested over $500,000 in my education at minimum. And if I am not asking for a fee that represents that kind of learning,
right,
then I don't value my own education.
That's right. I totally agree with you. Well, Dawn, thank you so much for being with us today. We're out of time. Ladies and gentlemen, she was fantastic, as you know, and I'm so glad you were able to be with us today, Dawn. And thank you so much for being such a good friend of mine and sharing your wisdom with us today.
It's a blessing. Thank you so much.
All right, everyone. Colleen. Have a wonderful rest of your week. And until next time that we see you, don't forget, be you and be strong.